Hello there, this is Cookies, and I've got turn 31 of EA Machaka. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And it looks like we found a bunch of more sites. So we found a smolder stone and a mud field. That might have been the only sites. So that's one fire and one earth. So love getting more gems. We see our first star reporting go up. Saramatia casts Mother Oak. And this turn was a little bit more quiet. We've only got a few fights, no magic phase raids. But we do get to see Berytos' Grand Army. Just go after a bird, but we get to see the formation. So he's got this line of Ichthids, and then Colossi who are going to filter in after the Ichthids. And then he has a little formation of Heavy Spearmen. And it ended. And then over on the left flank, we have a little formation of Heavy Spearmen. I think for me, the thing I would change is I'd probably swap the line of Ichthids with the Colossi. Colossi are just better troops. I wouldn't want them HP routing because all the Ichthids are dead. And then the Ichthids can filter in behind them. Is maybe how I would do it, but I'm sure he did some testing. And we've got Pastina. Again, we have this little squad, but now it's merged with a squad of Greathawks and a few new Ichthids. It's just killing one PD. Oh, never mind. I guess it's killing the Greathawks? Oh, there was a bunch of hawks back here. All right, here I can check. That was a little bit confusing, but this is where all the hawks ran after the previous fighting, so you can see them there. So it's going to be, and they're going to land on these Ichthids, and then the other hawks are going to counter land them. So hopefully that shows it a little bit better. All right. And then the commander retreats, but he's probably going to get jumped on. Yeah. And this goes about the same from where he does end up winning this. They don't have to kill as many Blackhawks, but they do lose 19. What probably happened is these Blackhawks jumped on each other. Maybe not on the Ichthids, because you can see the Ichthids only got one kill. And the Fomorian warriors only got one kill. So it was mostly Hawks fighting each other. Then in Live and Mark, we have another group of Blackhawks, but I don't think this is enough to kill a mage. Probably not even enough to kill the commander. All right. And this was the same case in the actual fighting. All right. And we have a couple of assassinations as we continue trying to blood hunt. This guy's running, he got hit. Looks like we have a squad rout and the commander survives. Did he actually? He did. And then another group of peasants. Oh, he got slammed. He's crippled now. This peasant gets running. And so does the other one. Alright, so this guy's got a huge scythe wound, but still managed to rout them. And did indeed end up winning. Is that the same guy? No, different guy. Okay. Another barbarian gets cursed. And we go ahead and hire some mercenaries. So we've hired these guys. Their job is to go in and clear up these two provinces. This is just to provide an additional commander for the attack, because when you attack with these groups, you can't, it's really hard to protect the mercenary captain, like himself, because you can't put these guys on guard commander. So this barbarian is just coming in to be an additional commander. And we're going to try to raid this and then go ahead and take Elder Hill from the Indies. And we're going to go ahead and send out the main army. So this is what we've got. Rhino Clan in front, Land Warriors on the flanks. Looks like just the left flank. We have summons on both flanks further back, and we have lizards and spiders. Like this. I believe this should give me timing. Almost give me timing for enchantment 5. I'll have it by the time I fight Hinnom, though, because this army has moved. We can see it over here now. So it's fighting Sarmatia. Now, the way it got described to me by the Femoria player was they were going to try to fight us, and the Hinnom player was going to try to fight these guys. I think it would have been, now that's probably geographically very hard, but I think it would have been better if Femoria probably came back and fought these players, and maybe Hinnom attacked us. Because Hinnom just has such a strong mismatch with my forces. But Femoria has a very strong geographic advantage against Berytos. So you can see cleaning up these raiders, everyone who retreated from this was lost, so all these birds were killed. And that was because he did this raid as well. Or I guess counter-raided here by putting a druid here. But Berytos does free up Pergamum. So he's up to 4 forts, recruiting mages and colossi and ichthyds, I guess. He doesn't recruit a lot of Berytos troops. And then we've still got our palisades here, so we've still got very slow recruitment here. And we've got our Machaka recruitment, so we have like 1.5 forts, kind of. So we're just largely falling behind because of this conflict. It would be great to get maybe another fort up right here in Vlex, because we could do a lot of recruitment here, but just there haven't been the funds. So we're going to go ahead and right up here, we're going to try and clear out the bottom part of our little peninsula, take out these indies that have been here all game, and hopefully Berytos can start gearing up a counterattack against Femoria. Would be nice to see more raiding pressure on these provinces. So especially with Femoria sailing, controlling these two really helps protect our backlines back here. So if we could retake Fogek, that would be probably a pretty high priority. And then retaking Vongar and threatening Kopos would also be pretty good. But he has to, there's just a lot of demands for his forces, because ideally we do that, but we also hold on to at least Ermithia so that they can't plow into our backlines again. So, meanwhile, I just have to maintain this kind of like Kibia Swandi, mostly just hold on to Swandi, and we will at least maintain a dominating presence for this particular fort circle, just because there's so many connections here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 connections. So very strategic fort, and I think that's good for this one. So we'll go ahead and jump into turn 32. We can see Pale Ones here, who I think are mercs. Yeah, so Vanheim's hired some Pale One mercs. This is to help break down the fort walls here. Traditionally, Vanheim has a hard time sieging, so Pale Ones would definitely fix that. So now this fort is probably under great danger. Hasn't been cracked yet, but I could see it getting cracked pretty soon. And Sarmatia is fighting down here. I suppose it's good. We should check to see if any big fights have happened. And so over this last intern, we Vanheim did try to, or Hinnom tried to store Sarmatia, and they lost their main army again. And this time, Sarmatia clogged the gate with a bunch of skelly spam, is how it was told it happened, and then successfully managed to cut all the retreat routes. And so the Hinnom army got hit with a complete wipe. And you can see it cost Sarmatia some stuff, but not as much stuff as Hinnom. And Hinnom's stuff is a lot more valuable, generally speaking. So this was a devastating loss for Hinnom. Their power curve is now below Abyssia's. And it hurt Sarmatia a lot, but they should be able to recover now. And it does look like Femoria has done some counter raiding. You can see a lot of Femoria stuff has died. But a fair amount of Vanheim stuff has died too, so it looks like they've had some fighting done too. So our most peaceful turn yet corresponded with Femoria kind of pulling back a little bit here and Hinnom pulling back. And then really aggressive actions in the west. So that diplomatic action at work, creating a lot of space for us to recover and hopefully push back out. So I'll go ahead and see you in turn 32. Have a good one.